Hey folks, I'm Michael and welcome back to the channel. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for your daily dose of awful stories. Let's dive into the first post made in the relationship advice subreddit titled "Found Deleted Messages from My Boyfriend and Now I'm Sick to My Stomach." Hi everyone, I am a 26-year-old woman and have been with my boyfriend who is 24 since July. Yes, we moved in together quickly just this past month. He was living with his sister who was being evicted and I didn't want him to end up with random roommates. I also wanted to move out of my grandmother's house. It all felt right at the time. This man has treated me better than anyone I have ever dated. He literally worships the ground I walk on. He helps around the house, takes care of me mentally and physically, respects me, or so I thought, and has been the safest relationship I have ever had. I am dating to marry, I want a family. I had only ever dated older men before, so being with someone younger was new for me, but he stepped up in every way. Well, this morning I had a nightmare that he wanted an open relationship. My worst fear. I brushed it off as just a dream. But tonight I had his phone, he knows my password and I know his. And for the first time ever, I checked his deleted messages. I found horrible ones from December 2nd when I was at work and he got drunk. My heart sank. I feel nauseous. He did not physically cheat, but the words he sent hurt just as much. We share a home, a bed I cook for him. All of it feels tainted now. I confronted him immediately. He threw up and started crying, saying he made a horrible mistake, that he was drunk and not thinking. He got on his hands and knees, begging for forgiveness. Both our families love us together. He has never done anything like this before. There has never been another red flag. I am so hurt, I can barely think straight. I love him deeply, and part of me wants to give him another chance. But another part of me keeps asking, how can someone who claims to love me so much be this disloyal, even with words? Okay, so speaking from personal experience, this is definitely not a mistake. It's a lack of love. When people are drunk and in love, they text their partners saying the sweetest, silliest things. When they're drunk and unfaithful, they text the other person they've already been seeing. Nobody suddenly reaches out to a random stranger and calls it a slip-up. It's always a continuation of something that's already there. People don't change overnight. So either he's not built for monogamy at all, or he's just not willing to give up cheating for you. But in the end, the outcome doesn't really change. The second story for today was again made in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, "My girlfriend is angry that she set herself up to fail and I am entirely unsympathetic. I am a 38-year-old man and a self-employed building surveyor. A week before Christmas, a client got in touch and asked if I could facilitate an urgent job between Christmas and New Year. Having no children and very little else to do during that period, and with the pay being substantial for a rush job, I agreed to 2 days of work, today and tomorrow, the 29th and 30th of December. The client is great, the money is great, and I had no other plans. The work is in London and I live in the north of England, so it means hotel stays for me, as is the norm for my business, staying Sunday night until Tuesday night and traveling back on Wednesday, New Year's Eve, to enjoy the festivities. I told my girlfriend, who is 33, about this work I had taken on, and she immediately wanted to come with me. I asked why, and she said we could have a nice break in the capital and spend some time together. I told her that this is not a holiday, it is work, and that she was welcome to join me if she could entertain herself, but I would be working, so she shouldn't complain about me getting up at 6 in the morning. She said that was fine, that she could see some friends and visit the markets, shops, and tourist attractions. So I added her name to the hotel room and booked her a train ticket. Since we were staying in central London, I was not paying a fortune to park 45 minutes away from the site. We traveled yesterday afternoon and arrived at the hotel where the first issue arose. It is a budget hotel, part of a large chain that I regularly use, with very basic facilities. She did not think it was nice enough for a romantic break. I reminded her that this is not a romantic break and that I am not spending business income on anything unnecessary, such as a fancy hotel room, especially since the booking was made before she asked to come along. She pulled a face but did not say anything further about it. I got into my usual work routine, unpacking clothes, putting tools onto charge, then heading out to scout the property and nearby amenities. I told her where I was going, asked if she needed anything from the shops, and left. She was just getting into the shower as I did. I returned about an hour later with my usual haul of bottled water, protein bars, and bananas, which gets me through the workday until I find a kebab house or something similar for a hot evening meal. I am not poor by any means, but whatever I spend while away still comes out of my profits, so I try to keep things reasonably cheap. When I got back, around 6 in the evening by this time, she was dressed up nicely and halfway through doing her makeup. I assumed she had made plans with a friend and asked where she was going. She got quite angry and snapped at me to put on my nice clothes so we could go out. I pointed out that I had not brought any nice clothes and that I was not going out because I had work early the next morning. This went down poorly. She immediately started crying and said I had ruined her plans for a nice meal at some restaurant she had apparently made a reservation for. I reminded her again that I was not on holiday, that I was up at 6, and that I was doing nothing more than eating, sleeping, and playing on my Switch 2, which only aggravated her further. Cue more tears and another complaint about the hotel not being nice enough. I told her that she was upset entirely due to her own actions and refusal to listen to me, and that I felt no sympathy for her tears when she had unilaterally decided my work trip was our romantic getaway. She locked herself in the bathroom, so I went out and got us some food. By the time I returned, she seemed to have reflected on everything and apologized to me. She had changed into her comfortable clothes. We ate, relaxed for a bit while doom scrolling, then watched a film before bed. I set my alarm for the morning and reminded her that I would be up at 6, then got into bed while she was finishing up in the bathroom. As she came out of the bathroom, she made a big deal about getting my attention. Since I had just put my head on the pillow, I told her whatever it was could wait until tomorrow and to get into bed. She shouted, "I've put in all this effort and you're not even going to look." So I reluctantly rolled over, grabbed my glasses, flicked the bedside lamp on, and looked over to see her in a very sexy maid's outfit with all the trimmings. She climbed onto the bed and immediately tried to initiate sex, but I stopped her and told her that yes, she looked amazing, but it was nearly midnight. I was up in a few hours and I needed to get some rest. She shouted, "Well, screw you," and locked herself in the bathroom again. I took my glasses off, turned the light off, and rolled back over to sleep. I'm not sure how long afterward, it was in a semi-sleep state, that she got into bed, gave me a hug, and apologized for shouting. The next morning, I got up, showered, dressed quietly, gave her a quick kiss on the forehead, told her I loved her, said I was off to work, and left. It was a normal working day, nothing of note, and I left around 6 in the evening, getting back to the hotel just before past. She was in the room when I returned. I asked if she had had a good day, and she said she had been shopping, which was evidenced by the various bags scattered around the place. I got into the shower, and when I came out, she told me she had laid clothes out for me. I looked on the bed to find a brand new outfit: shirt, trousers, and shoes. I thanked her, but said I was changing into my comfortable clothes since I had been in work gear all day. She snapped, "You're not going out in your scruffs." That caught me off guard, so I asked why not, which led to her informing me that we were going for food and drinks with a friend of hers and the friend's husband. I lost my temper at this point. This was the third time in about 24 hours I had reminded her that I was here for work, not whatever ideas she had in her head. She got upset at me calling her ideas stupid, but I responded that unilaterally planning romantic outings on a working trip was incredibly stupid. That caused her to start crying. I told her I was not interested in her crocodile tears. She is a grown woman who chose to ignore everything she had been told, made plans that I had no interest or ability to take part in, and was now upset because she was not getting what she wanted. She said I did not care about her, which I turned back on her, pointing out that she had ignored everything I had repeatedly told her. I said she could sulk from now until 2036 if she wanted, but she was entirely at fault for this, and I was taking no responsibility for her being upset, as it was wholly self-inflicted. She was bawling her eyes out at this point, so I got dressed and went out to get food, texting her to ask if she wanted anything. She immediately replied that she was going home. Thankfully, she had an open return train ticket. I got back to the hotel about 30 minutes ago, and she has indeed packed up her things and left. I am now sitting alone in my hotel room, picking at the food I got for her, struggling with one simple question. How could I have made it any clearer that my work trip is not our romantic getaway? OMG, it's Joe said, listen, I travel for work a fair bit, and sometimes my wife will join me. Often, if she comes, it is a nice area or a fairly nice hotel, but sometimes not. I'm an environmental engineer and do contract work that can often run from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening, so I get it. I love getting back to the hotel, showering, and relaxing until bed, but if she makes the effort to come with me, I will absolutely plan at least 1 or 2 date nights while we are there. On one job, we would eat dinner and just walk around a mall just to do something. She even heard you say you did not have any nice clothes and then got some for you. That is super sweet of her.